Good evening. Welcome to the February 24th, 2026 Millis School Committee meeting. So the roads look good and clear, and there will be school tomorrow. We'll start with attendance. Ms. Canistrari?
Here.
Ms. Briggs?
Here.
I am here. And Mr. Underhill?
Here.
Mr. Adis is not here tonight. Superintendent Millis is here, as well as Shalene Volpe, our school business administrator. I'll read this announcement, and then we'll get going. This meeting is being recorded and can be viewed on Mondays at 7 o'clock p.m. on Comcast Channel 8 or Verizon Channel 37. All meeting videos are also posted to the Millis Public Schools website under School Committee. All videos are also available on YouTube. All school committee minutes and agendas can be found on the school committee page of the Millis Public Schools website. Persons wishing to speak during open session must sign in before the meeting starts. Comments are not to exceed 3 minutes in time. Individuals may not name students, staff, or parents. All topics for discussion must be limited to those items listed on this evening's agenda, and all comments must be directed to the chair. The committee may not respond to public comments. It should be their decision to discuss issues at a later date, and all times are approximate. I am assuming we don't have anyone signed in, so and I know our student, there was no school today, our student representatives are not with us, and our teacher representative is not with us tonight, but Superintendent Millis does have some info to share for us.
A few updates.
Yep.
From Clyde Brown, Ms. Malloy has connected with the Senior Center about the pen pals between senior citizens in town and Ms. Maruzzi's third grade class. So that started. That's a great partnership. And kindergarten and preschool registration opened earlier this month, so those registrations are open for next year. Third grade Spanish immersion students in Mr. Colazzo's class recently completed a home project to connect with Spanish cultures. Families work together to cook a traditional tortilla española, and the results were fantastic. Students did a great job producing creative cooking videos and photos of the process. And then in the middle school, 7th grade, science students have been busy with their STEAM fair projects, and they're beginning to analyze the data from their experiments. The STEAM fair will occur on March 11th with judging and an open house for families. 6th grade visited the McAuliffe Center at the end of January, and you may have seen some Millis middle school students and teachers on the news, and they were on Channel 5, Channel 7, and in Metro West. That's about it for the updates.
Thank you.
Mulaney?
Yeah.
Yes.
So were they on screen, on TV for the McAuliffe Center, like a presentation, or?
It was, one group went during the 40th anniversary of the Challenger explosion. So the news teams were there.
Okay.
You know, the center was commemorating that. And so as part of that, they talked with some of our kids.
Okay.
Great experience for the kids. It's nice we have something like that so close.
Yeah. So we have a couple of action items. First is consideration to approve the February 3rd, 2026 meeting minutes.
Mr. Chair,
Let's get us started.
I make a motion to approve the February 3rd, 2026 meeting minutes. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and
Abstain.
an abstention. So 3 and 3, so unanimous with an abstention. Next, we have consideration to approve Shana Canistrari and Peter Underhill to the mask policy update subcommittee. That's the Massachusetts Association of School Committees policy update.
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Briggs.
I make a motion to approve Ms. Canistrari and Mr. Underhill to the MASC Policy Update Subcommittee.
Can we second ourselves?
I think, unless
Or
I
you
can
can-
second.
you
I can, I second, I
Okay.
second it, yes. Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Thank you guys for
No?
stepping up to do this.
Thank you
We
very
super
much, yeah.
appreciate it.
Yes,
I'm
very
looking forward
much,
to
very
kind of
much.
hearing all the updates too.
And being able to find policies quickly and easily
Yes.
down the road. Excellent, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Thank you again, both of you. The other item on our agenda is, the other action item is consideration to approve the school calendar for next year, but we're gonna table that so that the Teachers Association is gonna look, they
We'd like
haven't
to
met
do
yet.
it collaboratively and give them a look at it
Okay.
before we come to you.
So we'll move that to the next,
Sure.
meeting agenda. And that's it for action items. So time and learning, we do have one integrated monitoring review.
Right, so in May, we're going to be having a site visit from representatives from the DESE, conducting an integrated monitoring review of some of our special ed processes. Some of the educators here might have heard earlier iterations of this. It was a coordinated program review.
CPR before,
about-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
about
that's
10
right.
years ago.
Yeah.
Then it became a tiered focused monitoring review. And then the latest iteration is this integrated monitoring review, IMR. And these are reviews conducted every 3 years. And they break them into two groups. Group A reviews have a student level focus, and Group B reviews have an infrastructure and systems focus. 3 years ago, we had a Group A review, so we're in the midst of a Group B review. The week of May 25th, we will have a site visit from representatives of the DESE, and what Group B looks at, licensure and professional development, primarily of our special educators, parent, student, and community engagement, and including compliance with child find requirements. It's ways that students can be identified for services, and the regulations around that. Facilities and classrooms to make sure they all are in compliance with special education and civil rights laws, oversight of our IEP implementation, time and learning, and equal access. Those are all standards that they will assess us on. And there's 3 phases of the review. The discovery phase is a bunch of document review. They review our data. That's been ongoing since the beginning of the year. The engagement phase, which is the second phase, will be that site visit at the end of May. And as part of that, there'll probably be some interviews, some focus groups talking to staff, students, and families. And then once they have their site visit, they take the data collected from that, take the data from the document analysis, and issue a final report. The report will have some recommendations and, if necessary, areas where they will direct us to take specific steps to be in compliance. And again, we met with the chair of the visiting team last week just to go over some of the things they're going to be looking for. So it's it's a procedure every 3 years just to make sure. The state has to make sure that individual school districts are complying with federal laws. So the federal government tells the state you have to monitor this, and then the state comes in and monitors this.
Besides changing the names up, is there anything different to the? I mean, and maybe, I don't. It's almost rhetorical. I just.
It's
kind of how.
I mean, they've always monitored our compliance with regulations, special ed regulations, and civil rights regulations. I think one thing that is different with this one of the things they're looking at is the tiered interventions and supports. And one of the things they're concerned about is, are we using tiered interventions like level 2 interventions or tier 2 interventions to keep kids out of special ed? So in other words, if a student had learning disability, and instead of addressing that through an IEP, are we just keeping a kid in a tiered group for too long? I don't think they'll have any findings along that, but that is something new that's kind of
Gotcha.
first I've heard of them looking at that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, thank you. So we do have an MSBA update, as always. Robin or Trina, you have?
Yeah, so on Thursday of this week, we have the CM interviews at the library in the afternoon. And like we said before, it's not like a secret, anyone can come. It's not really like set up to have people kind of there to like observe necessarily. Like it's just a small space for the thing, but anyone can come in and ask questions, I think, and kind of observe what's happening. What else is happening? Oh, I feel like that's like the
Yeah, I think
most like
that's-
up-to-date
yeah.
thing that's happening
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
And
That's-
once,
I think
once
that's what it was.
the construction manager's selected, then
Yeah,
all the fun starts.
yeah.
So
Will they
they'll
be
be presenting what their proposals are for how are they gonna phase it in, what are they gonna do about parking when they put a fence around the construction site and all this. So it should be interesting.
Yeah.
Will the committee be making a decision on Thursday, or will they be deliberating and deciding at a later date?
They'll decide at a later date.
Okay.
Probably very quickly, though. They'll have the interviews, and once the interviews are over, they'll go into deliberations. Probably by the 27th, they'll have a number one candidate, and then it goes into negotiating the contract, which should be pretty quick because the request for proposal was very specific. We have the $125 million number, so
Yes.
everything's clear.
Yeah.
And by just submitting a proposal, you're almost saying, we agree to the terms.
Right.
That makes sense.
So they expect the selected construction manager to be on board in early March.
Great,
But, yeah,
that's quick.
Yep.
that's great.
And then shovels will go in the ground a year from March.
Right.
I think Bob, you're up anyway with the superintendent report. So
Okay,
you
yeah,
have
just a
things for
couple
us.
of items. First is just an update on the Director of Curriculum and Instruction and Assessment position that begins on July 1st, 2026. My memo was a year wrong. Applications closed Friday. We actually have 39 applicants now. We've got one more under the wire before I wrote this memo before the closure. So we have 39 applicants, impressive number, and we have some pretty impressive candidates. So the paper screening team is going to be going through the applications to come up with a list of candidates to be interviewed. We'll set up interviews the second week in March, and there may be, depending on the number of people we choose to interview, there may be an additional round of interviews before the finalists are selected. Hopefully, we'll have the candidate chosen before April vacation. That's our
Wow,
timeline
that's
for
great.
that. And then just another update. Back in October, we had an inspector from the Department of Labor Standards came to Millis Middle High School and toured the facility and at the end of January, we received a report from the Department of Labor Standards, and it noted several areas where we need to take corrective action. This is not unusual. Their primary concern is worker safety, so there are some things that we need to fix up. The most notable is our roof does not have like a rail system, which is okay for portions of the roof where someone wouldn't be working, but near some of our air handlers and things like that, there needs to be some protective measures taken for people who might be working up there. So, you know, it's going to involve probably putting some railing system up there in some areas. There was also some concern about one of the hatchways to the roof, the way the ladder is positioned. The person climbing doesn't have things to grab onto once they're beyond the hatchway, so we have to do some things like that. There was some concerns about some personal protective equipment, PP like goggles and stuff in the custodial closet, so we're making sure we're getting that all up to date. Mr. Engler and Dana Olson, our groundskeeper, met with a team from the Department of Labor Standards last week to go over the citations and come up with a plan. So they've been great about partnering with us. They know we're in the middle of a building project. So they're not saying we have to do anything permanent, but safety is key, and we have to have things put in place to make sure it's safe for our employees. So we're working on that to satisfy the corrective action. That's about all I had.
The correspondence, I don't know, do we have any correspondence
I believe so.
or announcements? I just to say it again, like it was the grounds, the lot and the grounds look fantastic.
Yes.
Like driving in here was like, I mean, you wouldn't have known what it looked like yesterday, except we all know exactly what it looked like yesterday. So they did it. It
The
looks
crew
fantastic.
worked-
They did a great
worked
job.
Really
Did a great
hard
job.
today. And I'd also say in town.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
the
for
roads
sure.
are good. When I came in earlier, you know, the sidewalks, they've hit the sidewalks.
Yeah.
So certainly we have high snow banks, but, you know, unless something happens tonight, we're anticipating a full day of school tomorrow.
Fantastic. Excellent. So we do not have an executive session scheduled for tonight, so we have reached the end of our agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second. Any other discussion? No. This is just a regular vote, not a roll call, because we are, right? Yeah. So all in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Our next meeting is March 10th, 2026, right here in the school library. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you all.